Canelo's gonna come at him hard. Right. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem, and Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather.
Oscar De La Hoya didn't just knock out Canelo with words. He delivered a GPS-guided takedown of his footwork. Imagine calling a heavyweight champ flat-footed in 2025. Audacious. De La Hoya paints a picture of Canelo rooted to the canvas, immobile like grandma after bingo. Except when facing Mayweather or Bivol, he looked stuck in quicksand. These aren't slip-ups. They're career-long glitches.
One thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know? And he doesn't run, and he has that heart. He's a dog. He has that heart. You want to fight me? I'm gonna fight you. But he's smart. So it's
the comedy. That's like saying you're stronger than a toddler while getting whacked by one. If Crawford shows up with footwork Michelangelo would envy, De La Hoya's betting Canelo gets turned into a modern art masterpiece. Broken. The suspense? It's whether Canelo can learn to moonwalk mid-press before he gets boxed into oblivion. People who've seen him try to chase slick opponents say he looks like he's wearing concrete boots. And De La Hoya is setting the table. Yep, this is gonna go down exactly like the others.
What is there to say about, like, I've been cool with everybody all my life. If you're gonna say, but even with Floyd, I mean,
unless Canelo suddenly sprouted springs in his heels, it's bold, it's brutal, and it's setting up Crawford as a footwork wizard. Canelo never saw coming. De La Hoya isn't whispering. He's announcing Canelo's movement kryptonite, like it's a stadium-wide PA. He references Lara and Skull, but the agony's real.
So, yeah, I don't know where it went wrong. I know it wasn't from me. I'm sure maybe it was whispers in his ears, because that happens a lot in boxing. You know?
We'll definitely find out. Yeah, so Ryan Garcia recently had a bad night in New York, but do you have faith that he's gonna bounce back and be better than me?
Where Canelo couldn't land a decent punch on a guy who kept dancing. This isn't hypothetical noir, it's real-world receipts. He paints a recurring frenemy. Move. And Canelo's punches fall short. The twist? He subtly declares Crawford is already in the same playlist. Slick, elusive, smart. If Canelo thinks he can trade shots like in his old highlights, De La Hoya is betting he's walking into a Houdini trick where punches vanish. It's dramatic. The more Canelo throws, the more Crawford vanishes like an opponent with invisibility gear. And fans sense the thriller. Will Canelo catch Crawford? Or will Crawford catch Canelo gasping in midair? De La Hoya's thesis reads like a prophecy. If Crawford dances tonight, the replay on Canelo's tape could become his undoing. That's cinematic tension right there. Ipper thin out. He backs Crawford, but only with a caveat so heavy it nearly crushes boxing gloves. Canelo's raw power is catastrophic. Here's the comedic thrill. You brag Canelo folds against movement. Yet De La Hoya warns that the second Canelo lands, he's turning brains into fruit smoothie. Power changes fights, shakes confidence, makes strategy crumble. Picture Crawford dancing circles, unloading jabs, and suddenly the lights flicker because one heavy Canelo right landed. It's like watching a ballet interrupted by an earthquake. Even slick fighters have limits. De La Hoya plays both ends. Crawford's intelligence and movement are gold. But if that force lands, it's game over. Will Crawford's ring IQ outlast the thunder? It's the dramatic twist we all crave. A mental chess match that can suddenly flip into knockout chaos. And De La Hoya's stage direction. Strap in, fans. It's subtle until it's seismic. Here's where De La Hoya leans in exhale. Crawford isn't just clever, he's a smart dog, with heart and recalibrating instincts mid-fight. He praises composure, aggression and balance, strategy without tumbling into chaos. In boxing terms, Crawford is the rare combo of professor and warrior. Imagine the calm of Einstein with the aggression of Tyson. De La Hoya hints Crawford doesn't run, he fights. You ask for proof, he give you fight night IQ. This is storytelling gold. Canelo's pressure wizard, meet Crawford's mental shield. The suspense? You expect Crawford to wilt under pressure, but De La Hoya assures you, man remains unmoved. Aggression controlled by discipline sounds dangerously effective. Cue the twist. Pressure magnifies mistakes. If Crawford maintains composure under flame, he weaponizes Canelo's aggression. It's chess and boxing gloves. Fans get the vibe. Crawford's not just dancing, he's setting traps. De La Hoya casts him as the dirigible of the ring. Shift direction anytime, but always overhead. Dramatic? Wildly so. Then Teofimo Lopez swaggers in, slaps a bold-face wager on the table. 10 grand Crawford. Laughs, texts, confidence dripping off every word. It's absurd. In a sport where loyalty and politics run deep, another top fighter betting against Canelo? That's like betting against gravity at the Olympics. He's mock-taunting Canelo's hype, sidestepping Mayweather fans and Golden Boy politics, saying, "I see Crawford, and I bet big." The cheeky twist? Money-backed bravado isn't just bold, it forces conversations. Now fans and pundits can't just talk strategy, they gotta talk capital risk. If Lopez was hustling on street fights, he'd pocket bigger odds. The dramatic flourish? That bet becomes a gauntlet thrown into Crawford's corner. Carry that belief or let it haunt. It's a fun, scandalous, headline-grabbing move that amps up the lore. It's boxing theater at its best, where the stakes aren't just belts, but belief backed by bankroll. If Vegas had a line for most savage move of the week, Teofimo Lopez would have just KO'd the field. The man slapped $10K on Terrence "Bud" Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez, not because of stats, rankings, or resumes, but because, in his words, "I trust my eyes." Translation? Y'all blinded by hype. I've got 20/20ths vision and brass ones. Teo's not sipping the mainstream Kool-Aid, he's spiking it with truth serum. While most fans are trapped in the Matrix, Lopez just pulled a Morpheus. He's saying what a lot of boxing purists whisper in the barbershop. Crawford's got that look, that eerie calm, the surgical execution, the "I'll ruin your whole strategy in round 3" energy. Teo's 10 grand ain't just a bet, it's a declaration of war on the casual narrative. It's the boxing equivalent of throwing hands at the press conference, then walking off in slow motion while your opponent stares at the floor. This isn't just pocket change, it's a message. Teofimo knows a fighter when he sees one, and what he sees in Crawford is the same thing many miss: a monster with manners. If Bud shows up with his usual timing, footwork, and laser counters, Canelo's gonna need more than biceps and body shots. He's gonna need a plan B, and a plan for after the upset when boxing Twitter explodes like a piñata full of regret. Savage bet? Yes. Smart money? We're about to find out. One thing's for sure, Teo just made this fight personal, and we're all watching now. Elite opponents? You mean the guys Bud made look basic? That's the clapback loading in 3, 2, 1. Let's see whose history book gets rewritten. Eddie Hearn didn't just question Bud's resume, he gave Crawford the cheat code. Don't fight fire with fire, fight it with finesse. If Bud tries to outmuscle Canelo, he might wake up asking who won. But if he channels his inner chess master, whole different ballgame. Did Teofimo just see the future with that $10K bet? Is Eddie Hearn the villain, or the only realist in the room? Can Bud outdance the red-headed Reaper? Or will Canelo smash the hype like a piñata at a fight night fiesta? Either way, we're cooking with high-octane drama, baby. So if you're vibing with the madness, don't just ghost me like a broken parlay. Smash that like button like Canelo on a heavy bag. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a single punch, pause, or plot twist. Drop a comment. Crawford or Canelo? Logic or legacy? Who you got and why? Let's turn that comment section into a weigh-in war zone and share this with your fight crew, your barbershop debaters, and your one friend who still thinks Jake Paul is pound for pound. This channel's where boxing gets loud, messy, and a little disrespectful, in the best way possible. Catch you in the next one, champs. Stay dangerous.